Alright, hopefully you had time to complete the first section, and we're going to move on. And again, I've titled it for you at the top. It's writing decimals as fractions, so we're going to go the opposite way now. And again, we're going to have three examples, and we'll do A, B, and C again. And let's start off with a decimal of just 0.13. Okay, so off in the corner, I'm going to section this off kind of like we did before. And because I just want to remind you, I'm going to put one up here, and we'll put 2, 3, 4 up here. And when we do this, just remember this is the key to putting it back into a fraction. So as you're looking at this, the 2, okay, that's in the 10 spot. The 3 we'll put up here to the top. That's in the 100 spot. And the 4 is in the thousands spot. Okay, so why we have that up there really is because we're going to put that decimal into a fraction, and so it's easier to figure out what the bottom number or your denominator is going to be when you keep this in mind. So we're going to put that into use right away, and we're going to look at this 0.13. Now I'll put the hand out here so you can see where I'm pointing. But the 1 here is in the 10 spot, and the 3 is in the 100 spot. So you go as far as the decimal does. In this case, it goes out 2 to the hundredths. So we're going to use that because we're going to put that over 100. Okay. So once we've got it there, we just put the 13 on top now. So it's really that easy. So this one becomes 13 over 100. Okay. So let's do it again, and let's switch it up a little bit. And this time we're going to use, we'll put a negative in there and put 4.5. Okay, so 4.5 is really the same thing. Now when you have a number that's on the left side of the decimal, that's really your whole number. So that's going to end up being a mixed number. So we're going to put the -4 out here, and we're going to be looking at the 5. So that's the part we're going to put over the fraction here. So the 5 is in the 10 spot, and so we know that it's going to be over 10. So simply 5 over 10. Okay, so we just went -4.5, and as a mixed number, that's going to be a -4 out here, and then the 5's in that 10 spot, so 5 over 10. Now that's not reduced yet, so I'm going to carry the -4 over. But that 5/10ths can be reduced down to 1/2, and you do that by looking at it and saying what number will go into both 5 and 10. In this case, it happens to be 5, and 5 goes into itself one time and goes into 10 twice. So the reduced answer is -4 and 1/2. Okay, so that's the second kind, and let's look at the third kind here. Okay, the third one, let's do a negative again, and this time let's do something a little bit different. How about 0.3 or 235? Okay, so on this one, it looks a lot like the first one, other than we know this one is negative. But the 2 right here is, let me bring the hand down so you can see, the 2 is in the 10 spot, the 3 is in the 100 spot, and the 5 is in the thousandth spot. So when we write that, we know that the denominator is going to be 1,000. So you're going to have a large fraction here. And we're just going to put 235 over that. And simply we just took away the decimal by doing that. But with this one, we've got to divide in order to simplify it. And so if I look at that 235 and 1,000, something that jumps out right away is I know obviously that these are divisible by 5, and so I'm going to do that. I'm going to divide 235 by 5, and it's going to start with a new fraction. That's going to give us 47, and 1,000 divided by 5, it gives us 200. And so that was an easier way of reducing that down to a smaller fraction over here. Now, the one thing I did forget is that was a negative 0.235, and so these are both negative as well. So don't forget that. So here are the three kinds of decimals that you'll be seeing on the test tomorrow. And first one is just a 0.13. It gives you 13 over 100 because the 3 is in the 100 spot, which gives us our denominator over here. And that's not reducible, so that's simplified already. Here we have a negative 4.5, and these are a little bit different in that that's going to give you a negative, or sorry, a mixed number when you have a number on the left side of the decimal, so we just carry that over, so it's -4, and then we have 5/10 left over, and again that's reduced down. We have a -4 1/2. Okay, and then the last kind, I just put one out there that just had more numbers at the decimal because I wanted you to see what one would look like over 1,000. So essentially the 2 is in the 10 spot, the 3 is in the 100 spot, and the 5 is in the 1,000 spot. So we used 1,000 as our denominator, and then put the 235 over it, and we divided both of those by 5. We gave us 47 over 200, and that was negative. So those are the 3 kinds you're going to work on. So again, you have a couple problems that we'll go over these concepts with you, and we'll see you back here in just a few minutes.